information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Early break with Sip and Jake.
I noticed in the article, it's spelled D-A-W-G.
Yeah, that's...
What, now, hold on.
That's standard.
Again,
Jake,
journalism
a dog is a D-A-W-G in terms of an athlete. Yeah. Or some things are badass, you know.
Yeah.
Dogs,
there's no way
D-A-W-G.
in 1985 that was the case. Now, this is a recent phenomenon, right?
That's not that new. This is...
Yeah, that's not
This
new.
is not... This is since 2000, probably.
D-A-W-G?
Yeah. Where have you been?
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I am a huge guy.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Happy Monday. This is the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Rico. Hello, Rico.
Hello.
How's the day?
So far, so good.
How was the weekend?
Great.
You're kidsless.
Yeah. It's cousins camp up in Orchard now.
Cousins camp.
Yeah. So they're
Go
with
pick them
their
up
cousins.
this weekend.
We'll join them on Wednesday after work. We'll be headed up there for a little 4th of July shindig. So it'll be fun.
I was up there for a 4th of July one year.
Yeah. So I met you.
That's where I met Rico.
Yep. It's weird. It's weird. I didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
Nick thought that I was standoffish.
He was. Rico, for the first time I ever got to meet Rico, he didn't reply back to me.
You were the first person who ever said, "Hey, I've heard you on the radio. I like what you do." And my first instinct was just to say thank you. And that was it.
and that's all Rico ever said to me.
And guess what? I haven't gotten any better at that because shout out to this guy that I saw at the zoo last week. I was walking by with the kids and I was saying something to him and he goes, "Rico?" And I turn and I look at him and I go, immediately in my mind, where do I know you from? Where do I know you from? And I was like, "Yes." And he goes, "I recognized the voice." And I was like, "Thank you."
I had that,
and
unfortunately, when I was playing slow pitch softball a couple of weeks ago.
I don't know what to say.
I hear, that sounds like Big Swim. Well, they said Big Swim. They're like, that sounds like Big Swim. Wow. I'm like, this is not what we wanted. I do have a name.
Nope.
do have a name.
You're Big Swim now.
And
I
because
don't know how to
of,
react.
of one singular person.
Yep.
Bill Bush. Oh, okay. 2 people.
Yeah, those 2 people.
2 people.
Yeah, they're one person.
Steve Sipple and Bill Bush. And Jake also. Jake's a part of this.
A little bit.
Because of those 3, I get called Big Swim in public.
Sorry, dude.
Not sure if people know my name.
You don't have a name.
I'm
anymore.
Nick.
You are now Big Swim. Sorry about it.
As always, 402-464-5685. Honda of Lincoln Hotline. The Starter Heyman text line are open for you guys the entire show today, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Allo Channel 961. All places for you guys to get in touch with the show today, as well as you can always reach out to us on our individual Twitters, our personal Twitters, Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. Brad from Baldwin makes a good point. After yesterday's game, it should be changed to Big Bopper. I hit 2 home runs yesterday.
Wow.
The only problem was that I hit the first one and it was a solo shot.
Never want that.
Never want that.
Never want that.
The other problem was that when I hit my third, or my second, it was our team's 3rd home run and did not count. It was an out because we're only able to go with 2.
Too much power.
I swung 50%.
Too much power.
Like I did not try to.
Billy Badass over here.
Big Bopper. I did not try to hit a home run.
50% and just cranked it out of the stadium.
Well, the problem is that the fences at Mahoney are about 175.
Swing.
I think they're about 220. But
swing 15%.
Okay, I'll try that next time. Team won't be happy with
me. For me, it's just swinging.
Yeah,
I'm not afraid of hitting it out of the park because it'll never happen.
I didn't think I was going to hit one out, and ultimately, both of them got out.
My name's Nick, and I hit the ball really hard.
Yeah, Crowbait makes a good point. No more gym for Big Swim.
Hey.
I can't. I gotta make sure I lose some of the muscle.
You didn't. I've seen your swing. I know your swing. You didn't.
You know my swing. I know. I see your swing.
No damn home run.
I did. Brad from Baldwin on my slow pitch softball team, by the way. So he can attest.
Thanks for the invite, guys.
And he's the one that brought it up. You're Rico.
Thanks for the invite, guys.
Rico, number 1, you would not take it seriously.
Yes, I would.
Number 2,
the problem
you
is-
would not be in town enough.
Yeah, when do you play?
Sunday afternoons.
I'm in town all the time Sunday afternoons. I'm always in town.
You won't feel like it.
Yeah, I would.
No, you would
Slow
not.
pitch? Yes, I would.
See, fullback trap makes a good point. More like Big Jim. GYM.
I'd be there.
Big Jim.
The problem wouldn't be I wouldn't take it. I would take it too serious.
I get mad. So there was a little shindig get together for some of the teammates on Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
I did not go to it. I did not participate.
How dare you?
And let's just say that they were feeling it still on Sunday afternoon. And we did not play well yesterday.
So you had to carry the team, is what you're saying.
Somewhat. But we did not play well. Brad from Baldwin played well. Brad from Baldwin, shout out to him because he slid a couple of weeks ago.
Oh.
Still recovering from sliding with shorts on.
Oh,
yeah.
Bad idea.
Yeah. The minute somebody slides, like we had a guy slide in head first last night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good, man. Like
bad.
You take it too seriously.
Don't do that.
I'm out. So, and nonetheless, 402-464-5685. I did elbow a base runner yesterday on accident. So
you're terrible.
It's pretty intense.
Where do they have you at?
So normally I just play second base. On previous teams, I usually play like third.
Mm-hmm.
But last night I actually had to play shortstop. Yeah, it was okay. I don't know. Hazelbear says, could it be the jiggle behind the swing that makes it go so far? It could be.
There's like a delayed hit. When you hit it, there's like a vibration that goes through and hits it again.
That is true. It gives a little, it's one of those like power-ups that's in like the Mario parties and stuff. Here we go. All right.
You hear the ball.
It's got like the star emojis behind it, just pushing it out. Anyway, we should probably talk about something serious.
Probably should.
Let's talk NBA free agency real quick, because we only have about 5 minutes left in the segment. In the second segment, we're going to focus fully on college football because there's a lot of news today. Obviously, it's official. Texas, Oklahoma in the SEC today. Nebraska head coach Matt Rhule sat down with Fox's Joel Klatt as well. That was released earlier today. We have some clips from that we definitely want to point out. Also, Utah hires a head coach in waiting, or makes it official that their defensive, or one of their coordinators, is the head coach in waiting. So we're going to talk all about that. They already figured out his salary too, which is a very interesting part to it. So we'll dive into that once we have a full segment to get to it. We only have about 5 minutes left in this conversation. And let's talk NBA free agency, because we saw Overnight, Paul George, it makes it official. He's signing with the 76ers. Tyrese Maxey gets a $204 million Supermax deal.
Won't take effect until next year. So
that's right.
But it's still, that's
so much money for Tyrese Maxey. Paul George, 212, I believe. $212 million deal. And then you have other just role players with Philadelphia signing deals. Andre Drummond signed a short-term deal with them. Kelly Oubre Jr. signs a deal with them. Is this finally a team, Rico, that can compete? Because they've tried things.
Yes, they have.
Whether it's been involving Ben Simmons way back when, whether it's been the case of like James Harden out there, or whatever it has been, whatever they've tried hasn't worked.
Yep.
So now they throw in Paul George from LA. Is he still capable of taking them to a championship?
Paul George is going to have to be that number 2 guy, and Tyrese Maxey is going to have to be okay with being number 3 because obviously it's Joel Embiid's team.
Yeah.
But the one thing that is going to hold Philadelphia back, that has held them back year after year after year, is injuries. Joel Embiid's knees don't hold up very well. Usually he'll end up missing a significant amount of time, regardless of the year, because of those knees. But Paul George is also not often injured, but he has a pretty extensive injury history as well. Yeah. So the one thing that Philadelphia is going to have to worry about isn't the other teams in the East, because if those two are healthy, that Philadelphia team is scary. But it's themselves. It's battling against themselves and their knees, because both of them have knee issues.
Excuse me.
And if they can't stay healthy, then Philadelphia is going to be in a ton of trouble, and they're going to have a lot of money locked up into guys who are wearing street clothes.
How about this? So Joel Embiid was obviously the MVP back in 2022. He has not played more than 68 games in a season during his career. So he played 31 back in 2017, 63 in 18, 64 in 2019, back-to-back seasons then of 51 games played. Then you have 68, 66, and then 39 games played this last season in 2023.
He got out about, like 39 games into the season, or not even, like 30 some games into the season, missed the entire season until the very end, helped the 76ers get into the playoffs, and then played in the playoffs and did what he did. But that he can't stay healthy for a season. You want him, when he does play, he's MVP caliber. Obviously, he's one of the best players in the game when he's healthy and playing. The problem is he is rarely healthy and playing. So signing Paul George to this contract, it's pretty much going to be, okay, how far can Paul George and Tyrese Maxey take you for half of the season while Joel Embiid is nursing some type of injury or just sitting out, so that he can avoid injuries and play in the playoffs?
Another guy that they signed, they being the Philadelphia 76ers, they signed Eric Gordon from Phoenix, who had a pretty good career while he was with the Houston Rockets.
Yes. 6th man of the year candidate damn near every year.
11 points per game, average double figures with Phoenix last year.
It's a bench scorer. That's a guy off the bench who's going to offer you a lot more scoring options, which is kind of something that Philadelphia needs. If Tyrese Maxey goes out, who's going to run the show for you? Eric Gordon, not a true point guard, but will get you buckets and spurts.
How about this one? Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, signs a 3-year, $66 million deal with the Orlando Magic. Comes from Denver. He was part of the championship team.
He was
not a horrible player. I like this play for Magic.
I don't. I like KCP.
Okay.
That's a lot of money.
It is.
For a guy who's not a star, is a solid role player. On a team that is very young, he can offer that veteran leadership.
Because you have Paulo, you have Jalen Suggs, you have Markelle Fultz,
Cole
Anthony, Mo Wagner, Franz Wagner.
It's a very
I forgot about those two.
The Wagners.
A very
Jonathan
young
Isaac team who's going to need some type of direction. And look, KCP can offer that, and he's 3-and-D kind of guy. But I think I was talking with Austin, or maybe it was Strick about KCP looking for a new deal when he was leaving Denver. I was like, somebody is going to overpay for KCP, and it looks like Orlando is that team. No judgment on you going and getting your bag, but if you wanted more chances at championships, stay in Denver.
Yes. Not a bad get for Orlando, though.
No, and I'm sure Denver would have given you a decent amount of money. It wouldn't have been this much, but
Well, we're seeing
shout
that
out to
across.
KCP getting his bag.
We're seeing that across the league, right? The Thunder with Isaiah Hartenstein.
I'm gonna miss him.
3 years, 87
Look,
million
hey,
for Isaiah Hartenstein.
Look, I'll make fun of the contracts. I'm never mad at a black man getting his money.
James Harden got a 2 year, $70 million deal.
Yeah,
seems like a lot for James Harden right now.
James Harden is interesting.
Where's
an interesting case study with James Harden.
Is James Harden a top 10 player in the league? He just got paid $35 million a year.
Yes, like James Harden's still a baller, and he'll still get you, points, assists, all of that. He's still a threat. It's just his game. Sometimes he's so good at drawing fouls that it almost seems like that's kind of what it goes down to. That's what it devolves into. But again, it's not like he's not a baller. He's still one of the best players in the league. But
James Harden,
I don't know if he's going to be the guy to lead you to a championship.
Do you have guesses on his average this year? That got him $35 million a year. That helped him get $35 million a year. He's played
20.
He's played. Let's see, 12, 14.
Are you like
16.
career averages or just his last season?
James Harden's been. This is going to be his 18th year in the league next year.
Oh goodness,
he's been in the league since 2009.
He's been in the league for 18 years.
He's been in the league since 2009.
Holy moly!
Yeah, 2009. I didn't start a single game in 2009, 2010 with OKC. Played 76 games though. Averaged 9.5 per off the bench.
6-man. Remember, James Harden used to not have a beard.
That is correct. That's right.
Non-beardless James Harden was,
and they now call him the beard.
The beard, yeah.
They also call him Jimbo Slice, Honey Bun. I do appreciate basketball reference.
I love basketball reference nicknames because they have those, and it's like those. Nobody calls you that.
The beard, Jimbo Slice, Honey Bun, Uno, and the system.
I've never heard anybody call him any of those.
Jimbo
for the beard.
You haven't heard Jimbo Slice?
I've never heard Jimbo Slice.
But anyway,
I've definitely never heard Honey Bun. Can you imagine Honey Bun with the dunk? That's a street baller name. That's a street baller name.
Absolutely, it is.
Which makes sense. But like in an NBA game, you can hear the beer. Like they'll say like that, but like Honey Bun,
Jimbo Slice.
Come on.
Uno.
He doesn't. No.
What do you think he averaged this year? Alongside Paul.
Yeah.
Alongside Paul George
and Russell Westbrook
and Westbrook.
20. Don't be rude. 20. Am I too high?
You're too high.
Really? 18.
16.5 per game. He averaged 16.5 points. And this is across 72 games. Only missed 10. Or didn't play in 10.
Yeah.
16.5. Had 5 rebounds a game, 8 assists.
I did not watch much Clippers basketball.
Neither did I. But that man just got $35 million a year.
And his average is going to jump up to about 28.
Yes, because he doesn't have Paul George to worry about.
And the Clippers are not going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, probably. Westbrook, they're also going to probably deal Westbrook.
Denver is making a push.
Yes.
DeAndre Jordan and Nikola Jokic want Denver to sign Westbrook.
There you go. Which would fit okay because it also, from a team spot, it fits okay. Also, it gives Westbrook an opportunity to chase a ring.
Yep.
On an established team.
Hope he gets it.
So, all right, let's take a break. When we come back, let's talk college football. Nebraska head coach Matt Rhule sat down with Joel Klatt. They had Utah as they've named a head coach in waiting if/when Kyle Whittingham decides to hang it up and retire. So we'll talk about that, give you some details on that right when we come back on the happy hour.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
$93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. We'll see a chance of showers and storms throughout the day. It'll be breezy too, with the high around 82. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms are likely, with the low around 72. And tomorrow, the chance of showers and storms. Some could be severe in the afternoon. We'll see a high around 87. Meteorologist Kyle Flecker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road. You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com, serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
This is area race announcer James Rowland. Join me and Bree Fansteel every Sunday night from 7 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket for the Finish Line, where we cover all things motorsports from local racing to racing around the world. Every Sunday night from 7 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to the Happy Hour.
We were in the middle of our tournament where my friend John said he found a body in the bushes over there.
With Nick Sainert.
I ran over there because I'm a healing monk to try and help, but obviously my magic wasn't strong enough because The dude's body was missing a head.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
So my friend decided to try to use a necromancer spell, which didn't work, which I knew it wouldn't.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
And apparently we contaminated the crime scene because that spell uses a lot of glitter.
All right, welcome back into the happy hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Huge thanks to our sponsor, Empire Fence and Netting, for their support as always. It is Bobby Bonilla Day as well, so he'll get his $1.19 million in his bank account.
Happy Bobby Bonilla Day.
If he hasn't already done so. This just came across the wire, and it's kind of bizarre because Rico and I were talking during the break of, all right, let's see. Where do we think Klay Thompson's going to sign?
This person's gone here. This person's gone here.
This person's gone here. What do we think? Where would we like him? What's the dollar figure? And I open up Twitter as soon as our intro starts to play. And the first tweet I see is from 2 minutes ago. Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN reports that free agent Klay Thompson will plan to join the Dallas Mavericks on a 3-year, $50 million deal with a player option. Thompson ends his historic Warriors run as part of a multi-team sign and trade deal that'll also send Josh Green to Charlotte. Josh Green's like, don't forget about me.
Hey, I'm here.
I'm still part of this.
Hi, I'm Josh Green.
I'm going to Charlotte. But no, nonetheless, as Klay Thompson going to Dallas with the Mavericks on a 3-year, $50 million deal that includes a player option, I would assume, after 2 years. So decides if he wants that third year. But
after they win a ring,
But so now that team features the 3 big players of Luka, Klay Thompson, and Kyrie Irving.
I don't hate that at all. If Klay Thompson gets anywhere back to his original self, like he's not going to get back to the Klay Thompson in his prime, obviously, but if he can get back to Klay Thompson that's able to knock down threes consistently, that trio is going to be dangerous because as we've seen, Klay Thompson doesn't need to dribble. He doesn't need to handle the ball. Just get him the ball in his shooting pocket and he's knocking it down. If he can get back to that, Luke and Kyrie are going to the lane is going to be wide open for them.
So don't forget that the 4 teams that Klay was seriously interested in after it was kind of an understanding, mutual understanding, universal understanding of, all right, he's not going to return to the Warriors. They kind of had this idea of, okay, it's Mavericks, Lakers, Clippers, or 76ers. 76ers spent whatever that was, 416 total $1 million on Tyrese Maxey and Paul George over the next 6 years. And because since Maxey's won't start until next season, they spent a decent amount of money on Andre Drummond. They spent money on Kelly Oubre. And then also there was one more that I'm blanking on. So Klay Thompson basically, or essentially, had the Mavericks, Lakers, and Clippers. We know James Harden goes back to the Clippers on the 2-year, $70 million deal. The Lakers, we know their situation. Mavericks are the winners of the Klay Thompson sweepstakes. So once again, 3 years, $50 million. Like you said, Rico, potentially a steal if Klay Thompson ends up at least being somewhat effective.
Oh yeah,
especially after the Mavericks run of this year.
Look, you were maybe a piece short, maybe a couple pieces short, but that is a massive piece. Again, if Klay Thompson, who is on the older side of things, gets back to even a fraction of what he was able to do, he's not going to be the lockdown defender that he was before. But if he can hit those threes at a decent enough clip, that's another dangerous weapon that the Mavericks have on the outside. Because when you took Luka and Kyrie out of the game, they struggled to score. And as I said, Klay's not going to handle the ball. He's not going to run an offense or anything like that. But if you get him the ball in a position to shoot, he's more than likely going to knock it down again if he can regain some of that confidence that he had with Golden State.
Klay Thompson, 17.5 points per game, shot 93% from the free throw line. Dang, 93% from the free throw line.
That'll do it.
And 44% from the field. Shot 39% from beyond the arc.
And that's a bad year for whatever reason.
That's a bad year. That was his first. This year was his first year since 2014 where he didn't average more than 20 points a game. Now, granted, in 2019 and 2020 had the knee and the Achilles. but on those back-to-back seasons. But still, for the first time in, what would that be, 5, 6, 7, 8 seasons that he didn't average. He had 7 straight playing seasons that he averaged over 20 points.
Look, if he can get you 39% from the 3-point line, that's all that's what you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially down the stretch, Luka struggled from beyond the arc. Immensely struggled. If you look at some of those numbers from their playoff run, it was like he was 1 for 7, 1 for 9. It was like 3 for 9. He was not good from beyond the arc.
He was forcing a lot of things up.
Yeah. So, all right. As Crobe points out, we only said we were going to have a 5-minute NBA segment.
Yep. Sorry.
Here we are. Was not expecting Klay Thompson to sign. So, nonetheless, here we go. But Nebraska head coach Matt Rhule sat down with Fox Sports' Joel Klatt, lead college football analyst, obviously the voice on Big Noon Kickoff, and said a couple of interesting things that I want to definitely play on the show today. And we'll have plenty of breakdown on this over the next 2 days. But Matt Rhule pointed out and said a comment about how when he took the job, or when he was considering the Nebraska job, one of the biggest concerns for him and curiosities was whether or not they were going to be able to get players to come to Nebraska, recruit guys to Lincoln. Here's what Matt Rhule had to say about that.
My question was, can we recruit there?
Sure.
I had people telling me like, hey, it's in the middle of the country. It's gonna be hard to recruit. Hey, why don't you wait for a job in Texas or Florida or something like that? And I kind of fell in love with the place, but that was always my question. So getting there and seeing how cool of a town Lincoln is, how big of a city Omaha is, how much the football's pretty good in that area. There's a lot of Division I players coming out of that area. And then saying that there's still a national pool, and I still can wear this. I can still wear this to an airport in Florida, and I'm gonna get a Go Big Red, I promise you. So we still have some pull. Now we have to play well, but we can get players to come to Nebraska. We can get players who want to come play in those facilities. So that's why I'm excited, because we have a pretty good team. I'm a coach. I'm not going to say too much, but I think we have a pretty good team. I have like a kind of a quiet confidence when I walk around about where we're headed. Is it this year? I think it is. Is it the next year? Definitely. And so I'm really excited about that.
There's certainly confidence from Matt Rhule about how he feels about his guys, I suppose. And that's a good thing. I think that's probably what you want to hear out of your coach. I think Nebraska fans are also on the side of, okay, we're tired of hearing about it, right? We're going to go through that same song and dance of we hear how Nebraska's in such a good spot, but they end up not playing to that potential. I want to really focus on the piece that he said regarding getting guys to Nebraska. And you look at Nebraska's recruiting classes, and it's hard not to get infatuated, I think, with the stars and the rankings. So for the purpose of this conversation, I want to take Dylan Raiola out of it.
Okay.
Like don't consider Dylan Raiola into this conversation, because obviously it's easy to look at that class last year and go, yeah, man, they recruited well. Well, yeah, they did, but for more reasons than just Dylan Raiola. There was a lot more to it, right? You look up and down, and it's guys like Grant Bricks. We saw it in the spring game with Ja'Cory Barney Jr. from Miami, Florida. And don't forget, Nebraska beat out Miami for Ja'Cory Barney. It was down to Nebraska and Miami for that one, and they beat out Miami for a guy that was from Miami. So that was kind of a double whammy, if you will. Obviously, go out and they retain Daniel Kalen, Davon Hall, as well as his Bellevue West teammate. But then it's guys like Willis McGahee, also down from Miami, Florida, and Mario Buford, somewhat of a legacy guy, a more recent legacy guy, and Vincent Shavers was a late addition, and even guys like Larry Tarver. But then on top of that, it's the Preston Tamuas and the Carter Nelsons and McMorris, Keanu Wilhites. Those types of guys are ones that could potentially come in and play relatively quickly. And as Matt Rhule points out in this conversation, 88 freshmen and sophomore on this team, they have completely revamped this roster. And it's with a staff that is very open and public about, if you're good enough, we don't care what class you are. We saw it last year. They don't care if you're a scholarship guy, if you're a walk-on, if you're good enough to play, you're going to see the field.
You hear it year after year with coaching staffs and within the fan base and from recruits. Again, year after year, I didn't know about Nebraska until I got here. I didn't know what to expect. I expected cornfields, this and that. Then I got here and it was a city.
There were buildings, there's cars driving around. I didn't know if there was running water, like all these crazy things that you hear from recruits.
Didn't know there was running water. I thought they were just driving horse and buggies.
You hear these things from recruits.
Got to go out to the well.
They get into town and they see what Lincoln is about. They see what Nebraska is about. And it's surprising to a lot of them. And maybe that's kind of a positive for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, where you don't have all of these massive expectations for a city. So you can't really be let down. You're only getting surprised. And then with the facilities that are coming along with it, with the, hopeful success of Matt Rhule and this coaching staff, and then their ability to recruit, regardless of where their ability that, when Matt Rhule was able to recruit at Temple, when he was able to recruit at Baylor, and now he's able to do it at Nebraska with better facilities and better history and the likes of that. It's something that, he's not going to take for granted. And it's something that he can use in his pitch. Is like, look, man, just come to Nebraska. Just come to Nebraska. You'll be surprised.
I find it fascinating. And through this conversation, we'll continue to play some here. He talks about roster breakdown and trying to work towards a college football playoff. And Rico, just select one there. But because I think there's multiple kind of comments that he makes that refers to this. And essentially it's that Nebraska specifically is trying to make the college football playoff. But with having 12 teams and also with conference expansion and realignment, you're going to have opportunities to do so. And Nebraska, that brings what I think everybody hopes, parity from top to bottom. And it also plays into roster breakdown, roster construction, management, all that stuff. So here's Matt Rhule once again.
I think the one thing that I always think about, and kind of what I said earlier about, playing a 17-game season, is there's more access now to the college football playoff. It's not as much about getting to the college football playoff. I mean, it is for us right now. I'm saying for the teams that have been there, it's about building a team that can win it, that can get hot and win at the end of the year, that has enough depth, that has playmakers that are healthy at the end of the year. So roster makeup is going to be more important now, in my opinion, than ever before. And we're trying to take our experience from the NFL and try to take that to college and hope that it works.
Now I have to be careful with what I'm about to say here, because we were talking about it kind of off air.
Yeah.
It's not in the aspect for Nebraska. It's not going to be that hard to make the college football playoff going forward. Again, not in terms of Nebraska specifically, but in terms of teams that are consistently finishing in the top 25. What you're going to have to do now, instead of, okay, you need to win your conference, you need to go undefeated to make it into the college football playoff. Now it's, okay, if you lose a game or two, it sucks, but you still have a chance to make it into the playoff so long as you're beating the right teams at the right time and staying ranked high enough, because it's 12 teams, right? I don't remember the number. But whatever, the number of 12 teams that get into the playoff. Again, you don't have to win the SEC. You don't even have to be the SEC runner-up. You could be the fourth best team in the SEC, and guess what? You'll still probably make the playoff.
That's what's so fascinating about this whole thing. And on a day where Texas officially joins, Oklahoma officially joins, a lot of the other teams have to wait till August 1st to officially join their respective conference. But you look up and down, and Nebraska's schedule doesn't maybe help them out as much this year, which that's okay. But going forward, look at like their 2025 schedule, and you're going to have matchups against Michigan and USC and Penn State all in one season. And that's going to be the norm from here on out, is that teams across the board from top to bottom in the conference are going to have these opportunities to knock off what we view as perennial top 4 teams in the Big Ten Conference. And so with that, it allows a team like Nebraska not only to sneak up, but to surprise some folks. And Matt Rhule's talked about it. That's where they like to be. So I think we're going to have a lot more to break down from this. And just going forward, Big Ten Media Days, it's July 1st. It's officially the month of Big Ten Media Days. So there's plenty of thoughts that I think are going to be coming down the road here on this show, just so that we continue to kind of give you guys an outlook of how we feel, because it's going to be a changing landscape. We look now across the board, and it's weird seeing SMU in the Big 12, or excuse me, SMU in the ACC, and Cal and Stanford about to be in the ACC.
The ACC put out a tweet welcoming Cal to the ACC, and I cannot get over Cal and Stanford in the ACC, just because the Atlantic Coast Conference,
Yeah.
and you have 2 teams from California.
From the Pacific Coast.
And it's just, I can't do it. Also, the Pac-12 network, I think, went dark last night.
Pac-12 network went dark at
Which
midnight
is
because they ceased
so-
operations.
So sad.
And then you also had the Longhorn network go dark at midnight because SEC won't allow Longhorn network to continue. So
good.
So you had that channel go dark as well. But no, yeah, Oklahoma, Texas officially members of the SEC. We saw Texas Tech today just showcase the midfield logos today. And there was a back in 2019, I believe, Patrick Mahomes wore a t-shirt that his Under Armour logo on his Texas Tech shirt
had to cover it up.
No, so Texas Tech at that time was sponsored by Under Armour.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes
was sponsored by Adidas.
Was specifically sponsored by Adidas.
Yeah.
And still is at this time. Covered up the Under Armour logo, put a piece of tape that said Adidas over the Under Armour logo.
Adidas.
And then now today, Texas Tech has announced a 10-year partnership with Adidas. So Adidas's logo is at midfield. And on the other side of the Texas Tech Red Raider logo is Patrick Mahomes' logo.
That's sick.
So now we're starting to see, once again, you heard it a couple of weeks ago, that teams are going to be able to negotiate logos on the field and smaller ones at the 25s and bigger ones at midfield. We saw it with Texas Tech now. They did the graphic of like a helicopter ripping a piece of tape, just like Patrick Mahomes had to do. And it was Adidas on one side, Patrick Mahomes logo on the other side.
Are we sure those logos were real, or was that one made up? I thought hold on.
I believe it was real. It was where it was like Patrick Mahomes' gladiator logo on the right side, Adidas on the left side. We'll see if those are actually on the turf. But it would
they are.
It would be surprising.
The Jones Stadium turf will have a new look next season as the Texas Tech football program revealed a new design with the Adidas and Patrick Mahomes II logos near midfield.
I mean, going all in on Patrick Mahomes being one of your alum.
That's pretty cool.
All in.
That's pretty cool. Like I don't want the field named after me. I want my logo on the field. Although I would like the field name.
And unfortunately, because of no free shoutouts, we probably can't have this conversation on air. But let us know, 402-464-5685. Logos on the field. Who's sponsoring? Who's advertising? No free shoutouts.
Better question. What former Nebraska athlete
would you want their logo?
Would their logo whose logo?
Sue.
He doesn't have that's the problem. Also, is he doesn't have a logo, and nobody else really does.
Anybody has a if anybody
had one,
if every single former Husker had a logo,
whose would it be?
Whose would you want on there? All right, 464-5685. Let us know on the Starter Heyman text line. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk to Austin and Strick, get their thoughts. Who knows? We might ask the former Maverick about the current Dallas Mavericks signing. We'll do that. We'll also dive into the Utah Utes situation and their head coach in waiting announcement today. We'll dive into that when we come back on the Happy Hour.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and right now they are offering huge, and I mean huge discounts at Koppel. Get over $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing on select Sierras or Silverados. Plus, Costco members receive another $1,000 off. Yes, that's happening right now in Louisville. $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing. You pick what works for you. Costco members, please contact us at the store or at KoppelCars.com. All deals with approved credit must trade and finance.
Years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers and storms throughout the day. It'll be breezy too, with the high around 82. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms are likely, with the low around 72. And tomorrow, the chance of showers and storms, some could be severe in the afternoon. We'll see a high around 87. And meteorologist Kyle Kleckner from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Don't wait for Lincoln's fireworks stands to open up. Get the good stuff at Roca Crazy Cracker in downtown Roca. Stop in from June 26th through July 4th for the hot spot for rockets and more this Independence Day. Open 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day. Roca Crazy Cracker Fireworks in downtown Roca.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring your friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. Hurry, this deal ends soon. See Home Club for details.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere planter from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Plant for success with the industry's latest technology. Upgrade to an Exactly Merge high-speed planter to cover more acres, increasing flexibility and productivity. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location to order your new John Deere planter and experience the Landmark difference.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours, and our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
When I gave you the cookie, I heard very clearly, I don't think about you, Schmidt.
Why would I think about you?
Because we're friends. We're not animals.
We're men. The only time a man is allowed to think about another man
is when that man is Jay Cutler.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the happy hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick, Rico, Austin, and Strick are with us. What's up, gentlemen?
Yes.
How we doing?
New week. Good.
Happy July.
Yeah. Congratulations on your golf.
Did you hear?
Yeah. You guys came in first.
17 under.
Yeah. You cheated.
We wouldn't have done that with Strick.
We did not. We wouldn't have.
Probably would have got second.
Probably would have gotten second.
That's cap. Because Stricky makes contributions more than anybody in here.
Oh, is that right?
That's a fact. That day,
I don't know about that.
Jake was off that day.
Well,
Jake was.
Your drives were shaky all day. Tell the truth, Nick.
What?
That day your drive was shaky.
I didn't play with you.
You did go that day.
I didn't go to Hidden Valley.
Oh.
The narrative just crumbled.
Gosh, yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, Strick was like, see, I helped our team so much.
He didn't even know who was on his team.
I wasn't there.
Didn't even know who was on his team.
Yeah. You don't even know who was on your team.
Yeah, it was.
No, what happened? You know what I did? And Jake would attest to this, surprisingly. So would Jay and so would AD. Is my driver wasn't working. So I was like, all right.
I didn't know that.
Driver wasn't working. You want to put that down for a second?
Just waiting for it to go off.
Solitaire. Anyway, my driver was not working. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to help my team out. And I would hit my 4-iron down the middle of the fairway every single time, about 240, 250. And
cap.
I'm dead serious.
Cap.
Text him right now.
And more cap.
Text
There's
him right
no
now.
way you were hitting your 4-iron 250.
The
wind was straight behind you all day.
You would be surprised.
Tell the truth.
You would be surprised.
Windy.
I mean, it was breezy.
Oh, okay.
I want to say it was windy. You would be surprised. Jake would say the same thing. But nonetheless, here's the thing. That freed up everybody. Freed up everybody. Just free swing. And Jay Foreman can hit the ball. So can Jake.
Mm-hmm.
Jake wasn't shaky.
He wasn't shaky that day?
Nah. We had some big putts. I had a solo bird on one hole.
Oh.
So,
okay.
Listen, Stricky,
congratulations.
Just watch yourself. Check yourself.
Chickadee check yourself.
All right. So here is this. Somebody goes, driver wasn't working. It was a user error. Exactly. It was me. Utah defensive coordinator Morgan Scalley has been renamed as Kyle Whittingham's eventual successor. And it's renamed because back in 2020, he was suspended by Utah because there was a text message using a racial slur, and ultimately he was brought back on. ESPN's reported that Scalley will make at least $5 million a year when he's promoted. Kyle Whittingham sits at 64 years old, and whenever he is deciding to retire, Morgan Scalley, the team's defensive coordinator, will be the head coach, as he has been named the head coach in waiting, according to a release from the school. Scalley's amended contract was agreed upon on November 23rd, 2023. But once again, this isn't the first time as the former Utah All-American safety was penciled in as the future coach. The university suspended Scalley and rescinded the head coach in waiting language in a previous contract in June 2020 when an external investigation revealed that Scalley had sent a text message containing a racial slur. That's the part, and Austin, you agreed with me on this one. Very interesting that it's like all of a sudden we're good. You're back to being the head coach in waiting.
Right. If that is the reason that they rescinded the offer to begin with, what's changed in 5 years?
There you go.
To make it any better or worse. Like, has he done some work behind the scenes? Has he, gone through training, whatever you have to go through? I don't know. But either it was enough to yank it at the time, and it should still be enough to yank it now, or it wasn't enough. They did it for show. They didn't actually mean it, and they handed it right back to him. So I'm just kind of confused by that. I'm equally, if not more, confused by how necessary this is to name now.
Yeah.
Because I think it just raises unnecessary questions about Kyle Whittingham's future. On a, Utah making the jump to the Big 12, why raise more questions than you need to? Because my first thought was less about Morgan Scalley and more, the clock's officially ticking on Whittingham now.
Well, and that's the thing.
Well, he mentioned that. He mentioned that he announced his retirement. He's renouncing that he is leaving.
Well, eventually.
Yeah,
eventually. Yeah, because he's going to retire. And Utah's in a spot where Kyle Whittingham's brought so much success to that program. They're not going to fire him.
Yeah,
but
I was going to say, is there ever a threat of him getting let go? I don't think so. With everything that he's done for them,
But now
he leaves on his own accord.
I think he's going to wait.
Either way, they got their head coach in waiting now. What?
Let me tell you what he's waiting on. I think he's waiting on, as you guys alluded to, the transition to the new conference, what the standard bearer is going to be, and then make a decision on whether or not he wants to put in the full tank of work that's going to be required, or to go off in the great good night. I think that's not a bad idea to wait on.
Wouldn't it be better to, if you're starting anew in a new conference, to start anew if you're going to announce this, just Kyle Whittingham announces his retirement as well? Because
what's better?
Again, if you're starting new in a conference, why don't you just start new with the coaching as opposed to having a year of Whittingham or a year or two of Whittingham and then saying, okay, thanks for these 2 years of the Big 12. Let's go now.
That's what's interesting. Like, do you feel like Scally was a candidate for jobs?
But so, okay, that's where I was going to go. So Whittingham's 64.
Yep.
He could legitimately have another 5-6 years, maybe even 10, if he really wanted to stretch it. I think he's the right guy to lead him into the Big 12.
I do too.
He's really good. He's stability.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think Whittingham's the perfect guy to lead them there. But is he only going to coach till he's 65 or 66? That would strike me as a young retirement. He hasn't shown any signs of slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes me wonder, hey, if you're Utah, okay, yes, he's been a really good defensive coordinator, but if he is your head coach in waiting, is there more value in him sticking around this program, learning the ropes in the Big 12, or would there be more value in him going to coach a mid-major for 5 years? Because again, he's a Utah alum.
I think
he might love being, the head coach somewhere else, but he's always coming back to Utah. Especially if you've told him before he goes out the door that, hey, when we think you're ready and Coach Whittingham's ready, you're in as his replacement. I think that it would have been weird for him to, jump ship to be a head coach somewhere else, then come right back, especially after being named. But if you're Utah, would you rather have him in-house the rest of Whittingham's 10 years DC, or do you want him to get some head coaching experience at a mid-major group of 5 program somewhere with the understanding that he's the coach in waiting?
I personally think it's a probationary way of not necessarily putting it in the forefront, but allowing grace in this matter of whatever the situation was to mull over and allow him the space to grow, to learn from it. I still think that's a necessary thing in our lifetime, just to be able to make a mistake and are there mistakes that are just so egregious that it's unrecoverable? I don't know.
So I'm just looking up Kyle Whittingham and what he's done for Utah, excuse me. So he's going into technically his 21st year as a head coach. I'm going to say 20th, because his first year in 2004 was when he just co-coached it with Urban Meyer in the bowl game, in the Fiesta Bowl that they won.
Mm-hmm.
But guys, he's had 7 of his 19 full seasons have been double-digit wins. He started at one point was 11-1 in bowl games. He was 11-1 in bowl games. His one loss came in the Mako Bowl back in 2010. But now he's.
When did Utah move to the Pac-12 again? 14?
Yes, you're right.
So that would have been pretty much the first half of his career.
Yes.
I see. This is where bowl record. I mean, they played in some really good bowls.
They did.
But I think Whittingham's a guy that uses that chip on your shoulder. So I'm sure he put more effort into some of that bowl prep. Like, hey, we're Utah. We have to make our mark to get to the Pac-12, which is also, I think, an accomplishment in winning as many bowl games as he did to keep propping Utah up.
Yeah, 2008, they finished 13-0 and won the Sugar Bowl. Won the Poinsettia Bowl in 2009, won the Sun Bowl in 2011.
You know what's crazy is that 11-1 bowl record is that you made a bowl game 12 years.
Right.
It's like you were doing this with Utah.
So,
right.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. That's what I'm saying is, like, 64 years old is not an outrageous number to where you can't coach for a couple of more years. So yeah, it's almost like, okay, now the clock is officially starting to tick with Kyle Whittingham on whether or not you feel like he's ready to go. I also am like surprised. It's not that Utah's settling here.
Mm-hmm.
It's that it's a weird feeling, because if Utah goes to the Big 12 and has success, they've already kind of made their decision. And Kyle Whittingham has said publicly and privately, I'm sure, for sure publicly, that he thinks that Scally is right for the job, and that if he had to choose a head coach in waiting, a successor, then it would be Scally. And so with that, I understand Utah wanting to go in that direction. But man, don't you feel like the Big 12, you could flex your muscle a little bit as a Utah team that's been very successful over the last couple of years? You're talking about they had 11 wins in 2019, 10 wins in 21, 10 wins in 22, 8 wins last year.
And they were down their two best players in Rising and Keithy.
Yeah, you were down your quarterback, your experienced quarterback last season, and still won 8 games. You at one point were ranked 10th in the country last year without your quarterback. You could flex your muscle and be a little bit of an intriguing piece, an intriguing landing spot for a popular coach. But I suppose it's not that I'm saying Utah's settling. It just feels like a very premature type of move, especially after the external investigation.
You had legitimate, if you're Utah, had legitimate college football playoff aspirations and talk at one point until you lost your quarterback, and then things kind of went off the rails for you. But Kyle Whittingham, look, I'm not saying he is this person. Nick Saban coached till he was 72. That's 8 more years if Kyle Whittingham, if he wanted to stick around. Because look, Nick Saban was 72 years old. He still looked like he could coach for another couple of years. So if Kyle Whittingham, who doesn't look like he is all that old, or that it's been all that taxing on him, from what we can see, if he wanted to go 8 more years, you mean to tell me you're going to have a head coach in waiting on your staff for 8 years?
That's kind of wild. And this is where, if it works out and, Scally takes over whenever it is and Utah doesn't skip a beat, it's a win for institutional knowledge and stability. Yes. And, was really savvy by that athletic department. But if it doesn't work, it's, why did you not give yourself the option to look anywhere else? Right? Where Utah, I think the misstep is naming it publicly. Unless you're that sold on this guy, which apparently they are. But even in this day and age of college football, you never know who's going to be the next big thing. You might have an idea, you can guess, but why handicap? Why hamstring yourself in case, it doesn't work out or something else goes on behind the scenes and you have to yank the contract again? There was no harm in waiting until, Whittingham actually said, yep, I'm done in this year. I just think they jumped the gun a little bit.
Can you imagine if they have a bad defense for like 2 years in a row, or even just 1 year? Like if you have a defense that's not whatever they're usually ranked for Utah, what are people going to say then? Like, oh, this is going to be our head coach? This guy who can't even get a defense together is going to lead the entire team?
The salary will be also an intriguing piece, just because it's at least $5 million a year, obviously, and that can go up, but the market will look drastically different if it's 7 years from now, right? Yes. And that $5 million will be, at the bottom of the barrel.
At least 5.
And don't forget that Utah is now a Big 12 school, a Big 12 program. They were one of the main schools at the Pac-12. Now here they are. They have an opportunity, I think, to be still in that same position that they were in the Pac-12 and the Big 12. I honestly do.
Utah football and Houston basketball are comparable to me.
I would agree
Houston
with that.
basketball has been more dominant, but I think of the outsiders, they have the best chance to stay at the top of the conference.
Yeah, I would agree with that. All right, gentlemen, what's coming up on the show today?
Happy Conference Realignment Day for everyone except the Big Ten. Fun enough. Those schools don't join until August, but we'll go over who's making the jump, who we think is set up for success, and who's not. Mitch Sherman of The Athletic will follow up on that and some Husker football headlines. And then NBA free agency, there's a lot going on. Paul George, Chris Paul, Klay Thompson may or may not be heading to Dallas, depending on Golden State's end of things. Oklahoma City loading up. And is there a Friday deadline for LeBron James and his new contract?
Ooh. All right, there you have it. All that and more coming up on The Block with Strick and Austin. That'll do it for me and Rico. We will talk to you tomorrow.
Adios. The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down?
Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-on, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and right now they are offering huge, and I mean huge discounts at Coppell. Get over $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing on select Sierras or Silverados. Plus, Costco members receive another $1,000 off. Yes, that's happening right now in Louisville. $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing. You pick what works for you. Costco members, please contact us at the store or at CoppellCars.com. All deals with approved credit must trade and finance.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has